The next thing that we're going to have a look at is reselecting and adding the spot pattern to this image. So coming down to this layer where we've already selected the tights, we don't need to do the whole reselection again. All we need to do is rest the mouse in the layer mask and Command or Control and click your mouse to reselect that. Down over here we're going to add a pattern, and what it's done is put the last pattern that's in my file over there. I can change the scale of that pattern and go OK. So once again what we'll need to do is have a look at the different blend modes look on this. So it's really up to you and the look you want to achieve. So I'm going to leave it at that. So we're almost finished with this whole thing. I've managed to pick up the same layers twice and do 2 layer adjustments, and we're almost finished. The next thing that we're going to have a look at is selecting the actual black pattern in this dress. How I'll do that is with my magic wand tool. I'll make the tolerance about 10 and leave anti-alias on and deselect contiguous so it picks up all of the black in the file. So do you see how it's actually picked up the black in her hair? What we're going to have to do there is go back to Marquee and go Alt, deselect her hair, and we'll add another layer adjustment there, and we'll go to solid color and OK. So what we can see over here are little bits of color that weren't picked up. We can change that quite easily by just selecting that layer and leaving the white in there, coming to the pen tool, and we'll make it more solid this time using my brackets. So I can just get rid of the black just by drawing over it with the brush tool. So the secret of what I'm doing is that I'm using the white and I'm drawing within the layer over there, so you can see how that's highlighted. You could also, if you want to, use your lasso tool to do the same thing and just fill it. I don't want to have the shoes filled in, so I'm going to marquee over those shoes. I'd like to keep them black, and still in that particular mask I'm going to bring the black to the front, and I'll go Alt Delete to fill that with black. Command D or Control D to deselect. I can have a look at other colors now that I've done that. What we'd like to do with all of this now is to put that into a folder, so to group them together. Coming up here, we come into New Group from Layers, give it a name, and go OK. And now, if you want to, you can add an effect to it by double clicking on that layer to open up the effects panel, and we're going to do a drop shadow, and we can have a look here. If you double click on the drop shadow, it gives you an option to move the distance, the spread, and the size. And over here we can move the angle of the shadow. So essentially what we've just gone through is having a look at layer options. I'll switch that one off because it's looking pretty ugly to me. We'll put this one on again. We've had a look at the layer options. We've had a look at changing the hue and saturation. We've had a look at the color fill. This one was for the lips and the cheeks, and what we did here was we opened up the actual mask using the brush tool, having black and white. White will open the mask, black will close the mask. We've had a look at a pattern repeat, layer adjustment, and we've had a look at a solid color layer adjustment, again using black and white to open or close that mask. The other thing that we've been looking at as well are the blend modes. So to change the blend and to change the blend mode and the opacity. We can change opacity also by selecting a brush and changing the opacity of the actual brush over here as well. Essentially that's everything that we went over in semester 1, and I think from here it's really just for you to experiment.